Hello my friends and welcome to today's video. I hope the day is treating you kindly, and today we shall be making a plant nursery and a greenhouse. But before we get into that, I did promise in my last video that I was going to show you the front of the Sanrio cafe. So this is what it looks like. Let me know if you have any other suggestions that I could do instead of this, because this might just be a temporary build, but if there is any other suggestions that I like better than what I've already done, I might end up changing it. So any suggestions is much appreciated. Otherwise, let's get on with the build. So we are making a plant shop, plant nursery and a greenhouse for Fang. I was considering making this a standalone build, but then I decided it'd be super cute to make a village yard as well. So I chose Fang mostly because his house is absolutely beautiful, and I figured it would go pretty well with the natural theme that I'm going for with this shop build. So that is what we're doing, and I'm not that opposed to having different themes and different color schemes on my island, because it is a bit of a mismatch of like forest core, fairy core, natural. So I feel like it works pretty well, and I like the idea of having different aesthetics next to each other. There's just something about it just makes me so happy, because that is what I'm all about. So I'm making him a little workshop area that is right next to his house, and then the plant shop and nursery area will be in the front. And of course, I always have to have a villager watching over me in the builds that I'm be making recently. And funny enough, today it was Fang, and so he's just making sure that I'm doing my job properly, and I'm making sure that everything is to his liking, because that's why he hired me to do this for him. All jokes aside, I'm actually pretty happy with how this ended up coming out. So the general layout of this is going to be a greenhouse at the front. It kind of acts like the plant shop and like a little greenhouse area, and then slowly transition that into kind of like a little nursery area, basically just like a bunch of plants and boxes. So it looks like he kind of has like a shipment in, and he's like unpacking all of that, and then transition that into like his little yard area and like a little workshop. So that's sort of the layout that I went with. And when I was building this, I was sort of all over the place, because I had a bunch of items that I needed to find a home for, but I didn't really have a flow, if you know what I mean. Like, I was just sort of putting down a table and then going back to the greenhouse and putting down plants and that sort of stuff. I was just putting down things as I came across them in my inventory. So yeah, it is a little bit all over the place, but I hope it still makes sense anyways. I wanted it to be a little bit more cluttered. I feel like it just works really well with this idea of having like a really cluttered nursery plant shop. It just looks so cute. So that's sort of what I went with. I wanted to make sure there was a lot of color in this area without it being too over the top. So I ended up using some garden wagons, and yeah, I also used some custom designs on the ground. I put down a couple of puddles, so it looks like there's been some water spills, because you know, plant shop, water, you need water your plants, it just makes sense. But yeah, I wish I had more variety of plants I could have put down. I was just working with what I had in my inventory, and I was just too impatient. I just wanted to build this so badly because I was so excited. So I just went ahead and did it. I might go back in later on and add in a couple of items. Like, I don't think I put in a watering can, and you kind of do need a watering can in a plant shop. And a couple other plants that I would like to add that I didn't have the materials to craft for, like the bonsai tree you can make with the cherry blossoms. I really want to add that in, but other than that, that's pretty much it. I also put down these kind of papers. I actually got the DIY recipe for that the day that I was building this, and I was so excited because I have it. It's been one of my most like coveted DIY recipes that I've been wanting. So I put it down next to the workbench, and it looks like he's thrown down some papers he was working on. and because he's a cranky villager, it just makes sense. It's something that he would probably do. And for the greenhouse area, I just put down just a couple of plants that I had, and like I mentioned, I might go in later and change them out. I put down some pathways leading off to the beach and in front of the greenhouse. I just thought it looked really cute. I didn't want there to be too much, I just wanted like a little bit. And then after that, I'm working on his yard area and the little like nursery area. Nursery is sort of like a very loose term. It's more just like a plant shop now that I've come to realize. I had a little story behind the plant shop. So he has all these boxes and stuff around because he just got a shipment in, and he's still unboxing everything because he's just opened up the plant shop. So he's still like getting himself on his feet, and he's like trying to figure everything out still. So it just looks like a little bit of a mess and a little bit, cluttered, but I feel like it just works really well for like a plant shop, because I feel like plant shops obviously are like clean, but they look very cluttered and overgrown and a little bit overwhelming because of all the plants. So that's sort of the vibe that I wanted to have for this as well. And for his sort of workshop area, I just put down a homework set, so it looks like he's been doing some work and he has a little snack next to that, and I just thought it looks really cute. I just wanted to warn you all quickly that when I was recording this, so I paused it so that way I could go to my house storage and just grab a couple of items. And when I came back, I forgot to press record again. So the cliff that's behind his house is not decorated on camera. And then I added a cardboard box table next to this cloth table, and I added some items on top of that, so that way it filled out the area a bit more. So I just wanted to warn you guys, because in a little bit it's just going to jump from being half decorated to like completely finished, and none of that was on camera. So I'm really sorry about that. I just don't know, I blanked out, but I just wanted to warn you guys. It's not like you really missed out on a whole bunch though. On the cliff top, I just put down a butterfly model and like a little laundry area, and in front of the greenhouse I put down I think I put down a garden wagon, and like I mentioned before, the cardboard box table and a couple of items on top of that. So not really much to miss out on. It's just a little bit sad not to see that get all placed down. But otherwise, I'm just putting down the final custom designs, and then that was pretty much it for this build. So that is it for today's video. I hope you all have enjoyed it. Let me know what your favorite part was, or what you would have changed and done differently. But otherwise, I think this might be one of my favorite builds that I've done on the island so far. So other than that, if you guys have enjoyed my content and would like to see more, I hope you subscribe so that way you don't miss out on any future uploads. I appreciate each and every one of you, so thank you all so much for the support so far. Otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful day or night, and Fang and I say bye. See you next time.